Jacacharya, Asutoshi Shimanas Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Kori Vaishnavini Ki Jai, Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Siko Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath, Syama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai, Sri Jumunamai Gangamai, Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Gaur Premananda Haribo. All glories is some devotees. All glories is some devotees. All glory is some devotees. Jai Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 2, Text 25 and 26. The Lord in the Heart. I'll read 25 and we'll read together 26. Tadvishvanabam Tvantvartya Vishnor Aniyasa Vrajanatmanaika Namaskritam Brahma Vidam Upaiti Kalpayusa Yadvibuddha Ramante. This Sisumar is the pivot for the turning of the complete universe, and it is called the navel of Vishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu. The yogi alone goes beyond the circle of Shishumar and attains the planet Maharloka, where purified saints like Bhrigu enjoy a duration of life of 4,300,000,000 solar years. This planet is worshipable even for the saints who are transcendently situated. You can't get that up? Text 26. Ato anantasya mukanalena dandayamanam sa nariksya vishvam niryati sireshvara yushta dishnyam yad dvai Paradyam Tad O Paramestyam Ato Anantasya Mukanelena Dandayamanam Sanariksha Vishvam Niryati Siddheshvara Yustadishnam Yadvai Paradyam Tad Upara Mestyam Ato Anantasya Mukanalena Dandayamanam Nanariksya Vishvam Niryati Siddheshwara Yushta Tishnyam Yadvai Parardyam Taru Paramestyam Ato Anantasya Mukhanalena Dandahyamanam Sanariksha Vishvam Niryati Siddheshware Yastadishnyam Yadvai Parardyam Taruparamesthyam Ato Anantasya Mukhanalena Anda Narena Driksha Vishwam Nirasti Siddheshwara Yustadishnam Advai Paradyam Taruparamesthyam Ato Nukantasya Mukhanalesam Dayamana Nandirikshan Vishwam Udirishan Yustadishnam Yadvai Paradyam Taruparamesthyam Ano Anantasya Mukhanalena Ayayana Nandirikshan Vishwam Rati Siddheshwara Yustadishnam Yadvai Paramayam Tonalasyam Kanalena Tandayamana Sanriksha Vishwam Nati Siddheshwara Yustadishnam Yadvai Paradyam Taruparamesthyam Matajis. Tomukantasya Mukhanalena Dayamanam Tanariksha Vishwam Bhakti Dineshwara Yushtadishnam Yadvai Paradyam Taruparamesthyam Ato thereupon Anantasya of Ananta, the resting incarnation of Godhead. Mukha Analena, by the fire emanating from his mouth. Dandahyamanam, burning to ashes. Sa, he, Nariksya, by seeing this. Vishvam, the universe. Niryati, goes out. Siddheshwara Justyadishnam, airplanes used by the great purified souls. Yet, the place, Dvai Parardyan, 15 trillion 480 billion solar years. Tat, that, you, the exalted. Paramestyam, Satyaloka, where Brahma resides. Translation. At the time of the final devastation of the complete universe, the end of the duration of Brahma's life, a flame of fire emanates from the mouth of Ananta, from the bottom of the universe. The yogi sees all the planets of the universe burning to ashes, and thus he leaves for Satyaloka by airplanes used by the great purified souls. The duration of life in Satyaloka is calculated to be 15,480,000,000,000 years. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It is indicated herein that the residents of Maraloka, where the purified living entities or demigods possess a duration of life calculated to be 4,300,000,000 solar years, have airships by which they reach Satyaloka, the topmost planet of the universe. In other words, the Srimad Bhagavatam gives us many clues about other planets far, far away from us, which modern planes and spacecraft cannot reach even by imaginary speeds. The statements of Srimad Bhagavatam accepted by great acharyas like Sridhar Swami, Ramanujacharya, and Ballabhacharya. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu specifically accepts Srimad Bhagavatam as the spotless Vedic authority, and as such, no sane man can ignore the statements of Srimad Bhagavatam when it is spoken by the self-realized soul. Srila Sukadeva Goswami, who follows in the footsteps of his great father, Srila Vyasadeva, the compiler of all Vedic literatures. In the creation of the Lord, there are many wonderful things we can see with our own eyes every day and night. But we are unable to reach them equipped by modern materialistic science. We should not therefore depend on the fragmentary authority of materialistic science for knowing things beyond the range of scientific purview. For a common man, both modern science and Vedic wisdom are simply to be accepted because none of the statements either of modern science or of Vedic authority can be verified by him. The alternative for a common man is to believe either of them or both of them. The Vedic way of understanding, however, is more authentic because it has been accepted by the acharyas, who are not only faithful and learned men, but are also liberated souls without any of the flaws of conditioned souls. The modern scientists, however, are conditioned souls liable to so many errors and mistakes. Therefore, the safe side is to accept the authentic version of Vedic literatures like Srimad Bhagavatam, which is accepted unanimously by the great acharyas. Ato anantasya mukhanalena dandayamana nandariksya vishwam niryati siddheshwar yushtadishnyam yadvai parardyam taru paramestyam. At the time of the final devastation of the complete universe, the end of the duration of Brahma's life, a flame of fire emanates from the mouth of Ananta, from the bottom of the universe. The yogi sees all the planets of the universe burning to ashes, and thus he leaves for Satyaloka by airplanes used by the great purified souls. The duration of life in Satyaloka is calculated to be 15,480,000,000,000 years. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. So the choice is given in this verse whether to follow material science or the Vedic literatures or Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless Purana, Amala Purana, and is giving us so much instruction about everything in life. And the scientists are speculating, it may be like this, it may be like that. Just like now they have this virus, but they're not sure how to defeat it. Maybe we can find in the future some, what do they call, vaccine. Maybe we'll ship everybody off to San Bernardino and put them in camps, quarantine camps. I heard something. Science is imperfect. But the Srimad Bhagavatam, that is perfect. And Bhagavatam tells us, yes, there's going to be Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi. There's going to be birth. There's going to be death. There's going to be old age. There will be disease. These things you have to transcend. It's called Bhava Roga. The real disease that we're fighting isn't some flu or some pneumonia. Of course, that's serious in the mundane sense. But in the spiritual sense, the real disease we are fighting is Bhava Roga. Nivrittatar Shire Upagiyamanad Bhavat Sadachotra Manobi Ramat Ka Uttama Shloka Gunanuvadat Purman Virajeta Vigna Pasugnat. Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto tells us Nivrittatar Shire Upagiyamanat Bhava Sadachotra Manobi Ramat, that there is disease and there's cure for the disease. That cure is the Bhava Saudi. There's Bhava Roga, birth, death, disease and old age. And there's Bhava Sodi. Enecheo Sodi Maya, Nashibaro Lagi, Harinama Mahamantra, Lo Tumi Magi. In the song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, take this Mahamantra, which is the medicine to wipe out the illusion, the sickness that we're really suffering. Can you imagine? Everyone's uniting now. Countries are uniting. Let's fight this disease. What if everyone was fighting the Bhava Roga? Let's all work together, governments and people, to make sure that everyone is chanting and there's no more birth, death, disease, and old age. That everyone's chanting Hare Krishna and everyone's eating Krishna Prasadam. And if you don't, we take you to a camp and fill you with sabji and curd, or sabji and tofu. And the Maha Mantra, Kirtan, 24 hours. Quarantine. You have to get well. This is our sickness that we're identifying with this body. And at the time of death, sometimes we're thinking, so-and-so went back to Godhead, his mother went back to Godhead, his great aunt went back to Godhead because they were related. Actually, Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter 26, tells us if someone steals from a devotee, he's going to the hellish planet where he'll be tortured in many different ways for what seems to be unlimited years. If someone steals someone else's spouse, there's a special hell that's designed for that. That Srimad Bhagavatam, that section of Bhagavatam, I personally always found so familiar. When I heard the names Krimi Bhojana, Kumbhipaka, Sukramukha, Lalabhaksha, it was like I was just there. All expense paid vacation. At the time of death, the Yamadutas put you on buses and trains, and one is sent. One hellish planet. I don't mean to scare everybody or anybody. I think you'll like this, Abhay. One identifies that he has a body, so he's brought up to the top of a mountain, thrown from the mountain onto what appears like waves. But they're not waves, they're jagged rocks. I forget the name of that hell, but it means not waves. You're not landing on waves. And one is broken seemingly into hundreds and thousands of pieces. Yamadutas put you back together again and bring you back up to the top of the mountain repeatedly. This isn't just we're bringing you to San Bernardino to get the cure for COVID-19. This is the real disease that we are suffering, and the hellish planets. Bhagavatam tells us, anyone can read 5th canto, chapter 26, the different hellish planets that exist. One hellish planet, the man is forced to embrace the iron-hot form of a woman, and the woman is made to embrace the iron-hot form of a man, to be trained not to be so attracted anymore. Repeatedly. Yamadutas are, this is training camp. We were sent to these places as training. It's not some fictition. It's actual planets that exist where one is robbed of sleep or eating, and one is identifying with the body and suffering in so many ways, training to come back to earth, to take that next life, and to be Krishna conscious in the next life. If we don't, even there's a hell. for one who is following the Vedas and gives up that pursuit. I forget the exact hell, but is not very nice. We would call it bloop devotees. There's a special hell that one has to go to be trained, to come back and take up the process of devotional service again. Krishna doesn't force anyone. Love cannot be forced. Love is voluntary. But Krishna has arranged this universe and other planets so that we'll want to voluntarily accept Him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and engage in His devotional service. These are real planets that exist. Someone may think, oh, they're fictitious. Oh, the scientists never heard of them. I'm telling you quite frankly, as soon as I heard the descriptions, and as soon as I read the names, I think there's one song, We Have All Been Here Before. I was thinking, I was there. That sounds so familiar. Krimi Bhojana, Kumbhipaka. Wasn't that long ago? Lalabaksha, Rourava, Maharourava. In Rourava, I forget what sin one does throughout one's life, but there are hounds that bite one and eat one constantly. In Maharourava, there's the big Rouravas, the great Rouravas. It's Maha Rourava. So we are given this grave responsibility to take up the process of devotional service. There may be difficulty. Someone may have difficulty with other people or making friends. Just like we're all put together, we come from so many different backgrounds. Prabhupada had said that just like on an airplane, one didn't choose the people to fly on the airplane or the boat, but one tolerates and excuses. Kshama. That is kshama. One tolerates and excuses. So in our Krishna consciousness movement, sometimes it's very difficult. Because although we say that associating with the devotees is a prime necessity, we're all coming from different backgrounds of mixture of the modes of nature, probably wouldn't even know each other had we not come to Krishna consciousness, unless we met in Rourava or Maharourava. I can't remember. Kumbhipaka. But the devotee is addicted to the way of life, Srila Prabhupada stated, to the process and the way of life. Not that if you don't like this person, oh, my Krishna consciousness is over. You may not like that person. You may not be attracted to that person. But we're attracted to this philosophy and the way of life. And the way of life is chanting, dancing, if you still can, following the regulative principles of freedom, eating Krishna prasadam, rising early, chanting japa. We're attached to this way of life. And the philosophy, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, they are our life and soul. These are the truths. We may have to follow, because we have these bodies and we're in this material world, we follow the laws of the land. And we work with the laws of the land and the way of the bodily concept. But our consciousness, our deep commitment, that is to Srimad Bhagavatam. We know that the truth lies in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Science may come up with so many cures or miscures for materialistic life. I was in a situation where I was put in the hospital some time ago, and the doctor thought, oh, he doesn't have enough fluids. He's been losing fluids. So they gave me this humongous drip of, saline water. I think 5, liters. Something huge. Then they realized actually his problem isn't that he's losing water, his problem that he's retaining water. So they put needles in the lungs and drained out all the fluid. I was thinking, I didn't even come in this sick. I depended on science to save me. I got sicker and had to get more procedures because of their errors, because the doctor decided he needs 10 pounds of fluid. And then they said, oops, actually, he has too much fluid. Now we got to remove the fluid with a needle in each lung, in each side of the lung. So if we depend on science, no telling where we'll end up. That's a fact. Nowadays, the most dangerous place where people leave their body is the hospital. Either they give too much of this or too little of that, or something goes wrong, or they get sick from the other patients who are all coughing and sneezing up and down the hallway. Science doesn't have the answer, but Srimad Bhagavatam is the answer. It tells us this is your disease, even for small problems, even for daily life. Srimad Bhagavatam gives us the answer. Srimad Bhagavatam, I think there's one chapter. Srimad Bhagavatam is the answer. Isn't it in the beginning of? It's the answer. This is the answer. So we have to be convinced ourselves. It may take some time. You see, the old devotees, they know Srimad Bhagavatam's the answer. They're not depending on science. They've tried science and ended up with so many. Maybe it's like this, maybe it's like that. Just simple. They gave me some glasses, and I went back to the eye doctor, said, I'm having a really hard time with my vision, some years ago. And he looked at the glasses and he looked at my eyes and he said, oh, they gave you the wrong glasses. So your eyes got messed up, or you're using the glasses wrong. Those were your close vision, and you're trying to see far away. This scientific world is a dangerous place. But Srimad Bhagavatam, there's no danger. Whatever problem you have, I got a problem with the temple commander. He's always harassing me. Bhagavatam gives you the answer. Give him prasadam, I don't know. Whatever the Bhagavatam tells you. I have a problem with my health. Bhagavatam will give you the answer. We don't neglect. We can utilize in Krishna service. Science can be used in Krishna service. But we should know that the real science is the science of Krishna, the science of Srimad Bhagavatam, the science of Bhakti Yoga. This is the eternal science. And that we follow that, we'll be safe and secure from any difficulties, even in this material world. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. I got the wrong glasses on. I can't see. Seriously, when I went last time, they gave me 10 grams. And they realized he's maintaining. So we have to follow the guys. I got holes in my back.